Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So today I actually wanted to do this quick video here with you guys. Actually, I have quite a few that I'm gonna have lined up here in just a minute, but this one in particular is about a song. It's a very, it's an oldie song, not anything of recent, but it's called The Final Countdown. I don't know why, but that song has been popping up in my space quite heavily over the past few weeks, and actually enough to the point that I chose to download it because it was truly a hit then and it's still truly a hit now. So without further ado, I'm going to share some details with you, what my thoughts are about it and what message each of us can take from it. So let's hop right in. So the song itself, The Final Countdown, it was actually a song that was created in 1986. The main focus of the song was to really tie into more of a belief. I guess it's more so because it's more viewed as apocalyptic and just more of a sense of optimism. It was about a group of friends choosing to take a trip to outer space, to go forward with that, not looking back, to return. It was actually published in 1986. That was when it was released. It was released in 1986. You know what, I think it's interesting because when you think about the song itself, when you're reading the lyrics, you can see where it is kind of like in correlation with taking a trip to outer space. But if you were to look at it on a deeper scale, I think it could have a pretty strong meaning for a lot of us. So the final countdown. Think of it in reference to your own scenario. Like, let's say, for instance, you're considering making a move. Like, let's say you're considering as far as relocating, whether it's within state or out of state. Maybe you're considering switching careers, switching companies. Maybe you're considering pulling away from certain friends or family or significant other for that matter. And maybe this could be viewed as the final countdown in your case. Remember what I told you guys, the signs and synchronicities will never lead you wrong. So when you think about those type of things, such as songs that pop up in your day-to-day, and you're like, well, where is this all coming from? Or you see the numbers, the animal totems, you name it. Don't just write it off as a coincidence, because it's not. So think of it this way. Think of a time when you may have woken up in the morning and you found yourself thinking about a certain movie scene, or let's say a certain tune that you may have not heard in quite some time, but for some reason it keeps popping up. Like, fast forward, let's say you go about your day and maybe you're out in public and somewhere, maybe within a store, you might hear that very same tune being played within the store setting, or maybe played on an elevator that you're jumping into. Or if you're, let's say, in some type of ride share where you're being taken from point A to point B. And for some reason or another, you may end up hearing that same tune being played on their radio. There's a reason why all of that is happening, because that is the spiritual realm trying to connect with you. And there's oftentimes a good reason why they're doing it. This is why it's very critical that we start to take heed to those messages, because each individual, they are actually conveying that message to you for a reason. It's for you to take heed to it, because each individual scenario is different. And whatever it may be for you may not be for the next person. So that's why it's critical to actually slow down, pay close attention to what's being, or what's taking place at that present moment in time, and just going from there. Because otherwise it's going to continue to be repetitive. It's going to be a consistent thing that will continue to forever pop up in your everyday existence until you start to take note. I think it's the most adorable thing ever when people finally slow down and they start to notice the signs and realize that, wow, all this time I've been overlooking it and not realizing that was exactly the reason why I kept hearing that certain tune, or that was the exact reason why I keep seeing those numbers. I'll give you an example. So for me, I have a tendency, I'll notice quite a bit of numbers throughout my day-to-day, especially with eights, like 88, 888, 777, pretty much any number combination you can think of. It's an ongoing thing. But one thing I always think about when looking at those details, I take time out of my day to go and look into what the meaning of those numbers are. And a lot of times it gets to a point you have it memorized and you won't need to go research it, right? So I would encourage others to do the same, because again, there's always a message behind those pieces as well that can really help you along your journey. So the final countdown. I know what it means in regards to myself, because I actually have a few things lined up that I'm in the process of accomplishing. It's a major blessing, and yeah, you guys will be able to take that journey with me soon enough here. Won't go into too much detail in reference to what exactly, but there's quite a few things I have lined up, and it's for good reason. But even with that being said, I want you guys to take the initiative and take into consideration what you've been dealing with in your day-to-day. What do you find to be the final countdown factor in your space? Is it something, again, dealing with friends, family? Maybe it's something dealing with your work situation or your living scenario that you're dealing with at the moment. What is it for you? Definitely don't hesitate to leave comments in the comment section below as well. Also keep in mind that consultations are still open, so if it's something that is of interest to you, definitely take advantage of it. I do have several spots open this week. We're getting ready to embark on a new week. So definitely, if it is something that is of interest to you, just message me or email me. And I can definitely get all that set up for you accordingly. That's actually been something that worked pretty well for a lot of you, where you can just get in direct contact with me. And you'll send me your details, and then we just schedule it from there. That's completely fine. We can continue going that route. But yeah, other than that, as always, I'm definitely sending you guys with love and light, and I'll see you in the next video.